Good morning, everyone. Bear Essentials with Bear Buyers. It is 17 January 2021, and it is time for what's going on in Division 2. And I'll tell you what, we got a real hot spot today that you ought to be checking out. And let's go to a lot of loot and see what I'm talking about. So here in DC, we're looking at DZ West is Overlord Armaments. In the south is Rifles, and in the east is Fenris. In the west end is Marksmanship Rifles. Federal Emergency Bunker is Walker Harrison Co. Foggy Bottom, China Light Industries. Potomac Event Center has Bulwark, Roosevelt Island knee pads, and Lincoln Memorial, which is today's regular daily, so everybody's daily, not just the season pass guys, but it is Providence. If you run this real hard, as many directives as you can, and run through here, you should be able to get some great dropped items. Having a full set of Providence to be able to put on any build, high on crit chance, crit damage, headshot if you're into headshot, especially you PC guys, this is the day to grind through this. Run that Lincoln Memorial out your butt today, and just see what happens when it comes to your Providence defense. If you get anything that's double God rolled or it has really great aspects but lacks that one from being perfect, remember you can re-roll that bad item of that low item using your Pokedex, using your re-roll. And then if you have one item that's close but not quite up to par, remember you can optimize it. So definitely Lincoln Memorial is worth definitely a high level grind today. Now let's go on with the allotted loot. Murakami in West Potomac Park. Tidal Basin is 511 Tactical. Constitutional Hall, Alp Summit. DCD, Hunter's Fury. Downtown West is Assault Rifles. Bank Headquarters, Eclipse Protocol. Around the White House we have Rigger. Over in Downtown East is True Patriot. Grand Washington Hotel, Petrov Defense. District Union Arena, Wyvernware. Federal Triangle, we have Mask again. Jefferson Trade Center, Roldy Holdings, Gloves, and Viewpoint Museum. In the East Mall, we have Pistols, American History Museum, Gear System Mods. Air and Space Museum is Golden Gear. Capitol Building, which is our legendary for the week, is Holsters. Southwest Light Machine Guns. Over in Jefferson Plaza, Sokolov Concerned, and Richter Kaiser at Space Administration. Rounding out the regular part of DC is Skill Attachments at Judicial Square. In the outlining areas of DC, Grupo Sombra at the Zoo, Coney Island Amusement Park for submachine guns. Remember, this is also where you can run once you acquire level 48 or higher this season. You can rerun your Schaefer Manhunt, and you can acquire the special mask from killing the guy you run into just right before you run into Schaefer. And then complete Schaefer, you also get the specialty skill that he provides. So this would be a great chance to especially for new players or players that haven't been playing in the last few months and missed Schaefer Manhunt. This is your opportunity to do it. You can also throw on a directive that is challenging or heroic and run this, and you may be able to get your badge for doing a manhunt at challenging or above. Might check that out. Not sure that always works. It did seem to work for one of my subs. Coney Island Ballpark, Strikers Battle Gear. Camp White Oak Shotgun. At the Pentagon, hand to you. And at DARPA is Gilligard. So now we're heading over to the Big Apple. NYC, New York. We have Tip of the Spirit Civic Center. Ongoing directive at the Tombs. Chance to get vest at Two Bridges. Empress International at Stranded Tanker. Seska Veropa at Financial District. Bellstone Armory at Wall Street. Liberty Island, Douglas and Harding. Negotiators Dilemma at Battery Park and at Pathway Park Backpacks. Our true daily is the Stranded Tanker today, but it is our daily for Season Pass project is at Stranded Tanker. I'll be running that on each character today. But here's the one where I'm going to be grinding. So to get your small bonus for your daily, you can run Lincoln Memorial and some activities throughout West Potomac Park. But the key thing is also having it as Providence. Providence Defense is a key factor in a lot of DPS builds. So having a maxed out roll with crit chance, crit damage, and maybe a second set with crit damage and headshot might be the way to go, or any combination of the above. Again, depending on your playstyle, you know what you need, you know the kind of weapons you're using, but definitely Providence Defense for the bonus on headshot, crit damage, and crit chance is definitely worth running 3 pieces on those great DPS builds. The weekly is Camp White Oak, Pentagon, DARPA, and if we want this bonus, we're going to have to run the Pentagon or DARPA today or tomorrow. Legendaries. Our legendary mission this week is Capitol Building, which, of course, if anybody is on Xbox and wants to run this, throw on your best skill build, give me a call, BearBuyer65. I'll run it with you. Weekly Summit Project. Need to complete 30 of those. So another big item to be doing today. Our Daily Dark Zone project is neutralize 5 agents and do activities in DZ East. Our weekly project, neutralize 10 agents, extract 2 items from any dark zone, play some conflict, 6 matches, win 2 conflict matches, and neutralize agents in conflict. So that's the projects for today. Let's go over to what's going on in the seasons. This is, according to this chart, the last 2 days to get your OUTGUARD. If you haven't maxed it out yet, try to grind as many levels as you can. Again, depending on how many you have not yet acquired, times that by 4. So every 4 levels you get a event, apparel event, and you can open it. It's well worth it. This is the helmet you get for completing the whole event. Pretty neat, and it's not going to be available otherwise at this time. KESTREL event is fairly easy. If you can't do 3 of these each week with the 2 weeks, you might want to reevaluate your play, as they say. If you're doing evaded, throw your disrupt on, and just, this is actually pretty easy. I haven't been running through a lot of these, but throw that disrupt jamber on and just run, and you can get a lot of points here. If you neglected this the first week, you only have today and tomorrow to get 10 on each item. As you can see, we got 103 points, and getting any points over 60 gives you nothing. It's not like the shade exposed, where just because you've completed the event, you've completed all the activities here, doesn't mean that you can't max it out. Now, maxing this out gives us more stars, and the more stars we can turn into, we can go over here to our seasoned vendor, and we can buy our caches. So all I need to do is level up one more time, and I can buy this optimization cache. If you need exotics, you can buy the exotic cache, but if you haven't done everything to acquire all those stars with that same person, it usually will not let you share that item with the person in your party. It is kind of hit or miss, but if you've done everything, it's worth a shot. But don't buy 2 or 3 of them thinking you can share them with your buddy. Test out one, and if you can share it, then you can invest in the others. Again, if there's any tips or tricks that I explained here that you guys don't maybe see eye to eye with, I open you to be respectful, if you would, in the comments. If you don't want to be respectful, or you just want to tell me how bad it is, you can leave those comments to yourself. But if you want to be constructive and say, hey, I would have liked you said this, or when you explained that, I didn't quite understand, ask a question in there. I'll take the time to answer you personally, and maybe even make a video to clarify it just for you. Trolls, just delete your stuff, or just ignore you, or anything else. I don't sick people on you. I think that's a childish thing to do. That's not something I'm into. But I want to encourage people to start giving a little bit more respect and love to each other. There's no reason to be toxic, even if somebody's less than perfect to you. So when we're looking at our build that we've been running here, this Memento Hunter's Fury build, as my tip or trick of the day, the only thing we can improve on, it looks like, is that holster here. No, it's the chest. Yeah, the chest here. And to improve that crit damage. Everything else is maxed out, including the Lady Deaths. See, the Lady Deaths all maxed out, and our secondary we don't really even use much, but it is a shield splinter, and it could be run to perfect, but to be honest, I think I had a shield splinter that was perfect. I just need to equip it, that's all. Now we'll mark all these, and again, one of the other things we can do this morning, last tip of the trick, is I went over this a number of days, but I'll go over it again. Going down here to the optimization station, we want to see if anything is really, like here, we have all our receiver components because we did so much grinding on a lot of those items. We have those maxed out, so we need to knock those down at least so we can, through our running today, we're going to do a lot of grinding in Liquid Memorial, so we're going to gain a lot of that when we break items down. So we want to knock out where we are on the receiver components. So I know we have some of that maxed out. Let's stay with the AR. No, kind of low on pistols, kind of low on SMGs. So let's go ahead and throw this on the SMG. Do it again. See if anything else we have where we can actually. And we can do the assault rifle. You can do it again. And as you can see, we got all that stuff knocked down. Backpack bundles were at 366. Chest 205. Oh, look at the knees. We got tons of knees. Mask we could probably do. Real low on hyenas. So our filaments is maxed out. So what we can do, I need 350. I can do 3 filaments, so I need 350 times 3 is 1050, and I need 750 electronics. So I need to get by 1 electronics and enough polycarb to get up 1050. Again, when you have 4 characters and you gain a level, you gain, each character gains 1 of these. So you can jump on here. Push that polycarb up to 1,500 or more. Okay, and then we're going to electronics. While we're at it, we'll just type everything up over 300, just in case. These blue ones up over 200. So now we go back in here to our crafting station. Go all the way to the bottom. Now, it's kind of hidden there when you just look at it, but you have to scroll down to the bottom to find your optimization area. Click on that. We're going to go down to where we have in the filament area, and we have 161 tusk, 158 cleaners, only 58 hyenas, 151 outcast, only 51 Rikers, and 70 True Sons. So we wanted the hyenas. We can do this 3 times. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. So that gives us 30 hyena items there. So we go over here to our optimization station and see how we're doing. Now it was the body armor we were looking at, and we wanted to hit up this critical chance here. So we have all the stuff we need to get up and push that to, it looks like we're going to push it up to 11.4. So now it's 11.4 on the crit damage. So we've improved our score 0.4, and then we'll look at doing it all the way up. We need 300 chest. We need 150 of our flag resources. and you get 2 of those. You get some from the daily event. Now this is going to max it out. It's going to put crit hit chance up to 12%. So this is fairly expensive, but it's going to improve our set perfectly. So this one run, now we could go in and roll Hunter's Fury till we find something that is one of these items is perfect. That'd be great. We could get on Hunter's Fury and we could get this chest re-rolled. So that is probably the easier way to get this done. I'm doing this mostly to just demonstrate the power of using your optimization station. But as you can see, everything else is maxed out. Our memento is now. This bottom line, remember that's a mod, so how we can still improve it is go farm for mods. You can't optimize a mod, you have to just find a perfect mod. And those are very rare. Everything else here is perfected to where the way we want to do the build is maxed out. Now if we wanted headshot instead of the crit, then we'd have to build such. And you know that might not be a bad option if you're really good at getting your headshots, especially with the SMG and you're running up, you're getting in their face. To convert all this to headshot is great, but the problem is with the Lady Death, it's already giving you a lot of crit chance just from there. So it's giving you 21% that you're using there, and then on the attachments that you can't change, it's already coming with 10% crit chance on the optical rail, and it's giving you 5% chance on the crit damage rail, and you get 500% with the melee damage. The other thing is, because my watch is over 1,000, all this is maxed out, so when you look at your offense, you can see here that you're getting all this maxed out. You got 10% crit chance there, you got 20% crit damage there. So before I ever started, I got 10% crit chance, 20% crit damage just from my watch. The gun itself is giving me another 31 crit damage. So without ever adding anything on my build for crit chance, I'm at 41%, which is respectable. So if you got somebody in your group running, say, a Coyote's mask, you don't need any more crit chance. And that's cool, because, you know, adding 6% here or 10% there, that takes a slot that could be easy crit damage, so you could do more crit damage when you do crit. And that's kind of the key. So having that high crit damage is where you do the damage. Ours is only 109. Now our crit chance is 53. So this crit damage, we're critting over half the time, but it's fairly low compared to some of those guys running around with, you know, 200,000 or 200%. We're only doing 109% crit damage. We're only doing 70% headshot damage. We are doing some armor damage and no health damage. But it's the memento that's going to give us all those bonuses, that getting back our health, and the other great thing about this build, just running over it, is the pure weapon damage we're getting. Right here, it's just, we're getting all this weapon damage off of all our items. Our Lady Death is giving us SMG damage. The spray and pray talent on our specialization gunner is giving us more SMG damage. Our gear set's giving us more. Our hunter's giving us more. Our watch is giving us more. And then, of course, all the talents off this momentum backpack is just giving us tons of weapon damage for 10 seconds. And then our long term up to 5 minutes is giving us up to 30% weapon damage for us picking up basically confirmed kills, kind of like the dog tags and COD. So a lot of information there. Kind of topping that off with the hit on the optimization station. And to make sure that you're knocking down and not wasting resources. So you're always building resources up. So when you get those full, remember to come here, knock them down. So when you do want to optimize, you got a lot of gear that you can use. You know, and if you don't, you're just wasting potential items there. Sorry it's a little long today. I definitely will put the time items in there. Remember your key levels on your season: 55 for the Scorpio, 90 for the waveform. If you want to replay the manhunts from season 1, season 2, season 3 is 58, 30, 53, and 48 respectively. If you're grinding and doing all these specialty missions and getting these done on a daily basis, you should be hitting 100 level this season fairly soon, or have already passed that. One last thing on the seasons is the manhunt. Remember, the manhunt is active till the end of the year. In less than 2 days, we're going to go after Magnus. So you might want to wrap up, at least for the first time, Viper and Kessel, so you're not running around at Cirque, because once you get to Cirque, then you can go do Feilau. And that's going to tell us where the end of the season is. So this, when we are able to do this in 3 weeks and 2 days, that's going to really be able to be when we're going to be able to go to Laos. So we finished this one 3 weeks and 2 days from now, or 3 days, yeah, just under 3 weeks and 2 days from now, we go after Cirque, and then we can go after Feilau immediately after that. We can get that Achilles pulse, and if you didn't see the PTS, it was giving people a chance with some of those builds to do over 100 million damage per shot on things like the Chain Killer and the Nemesis, and they were really doing back to those old days that we were able to one shot and coordinate shots and kill things like Boomer and even Razorback with one shot, one coordinated shot from a raid group. So not sure they're going to allow us to finally do that again, but if it is the end, I think they're going to start laxing control over that. And if we're OP and we grind for the best stuff and we got the best builds, they may just start letting us go crazy, do those crazy speed runs and crazy damage. Let's hope. If we've earned it, maybe it's time for us to start being those gods on all our damage. So that's what's going on. Sorry, it's 30 minutes. Again, I'm going to put the time stamps in there so you can jump to whatever section you want to do. Sorry I spent some time definitely going over Lincoln Memorial today. Providence Defense, grind the hell out of that. Heroic if you can. Challenging for sure. As many directives as you can get on there. That improves your loot chance. The quality. It definitely increases your experience. There will be people that argue that it doesn't. But the roles seem to be much better when you have the directives and the higher challenging on. Now, does that mean you can't get something perfect when you're just running heroic? Challenging versus heroic? Yes. And there's only a slight better chance at heroic, but it is a better chance. And when you're talking about an item that has 2 and 3 different roles on there, if you if you need it perfect, triple God roll, you want to improve your chances as much as possible. This is Bear Essentials. I am Bear Byers. Sorry it's went this long. I hope you have a blessed day, and I will see you in the grind.